Welcome to the Mi Casa, Su Casa podcast, hosted by Lisa Saenz, powered by kwELITE. This is where we interview top business professionals, industry leaders, operational managers, and thought leaders from around the nation, diving into hot current topics to help you experience Mi Casa, Su Casa.
Well, Fred, Ritter.
Yes.
Thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we were talking just a little bit before we kind of got started, and you are not a Columbus native, but you've been here long enough. You kind of consider yourself a Columbian. I guess that's what would those be?
A Columbusite?
A Columbusite, yes.
I don't know what you call it.
Right, but you've been here, you said, quite a while.
Yeah,
established some good roots.
Yeah, well, this is our home now. We've been here 33 years. So yeah.
Awesome. But you are a Nebraska native, right? You're up from Northeast?
Right. Actually from Tilden, Nebraska.
Tilden.
So my wife's from Battle Creek. And then we were out in North Platte for a while, and now we've been here for over half our lives now.
Yeah, so I think that kind of makes you, I think you could easily say, I'm from Columbus now.
I'm from Columbus, yeah.
I think that would work. I don't think anybody would balk at that or
no, I don't think so.
Check your credentials.
No.
So what do you do here in Columbus? I hear you're kind of busy. You got some stuff going on and some entertaining things.
For those people who are retired, they know what I'm talking about. Yeah, when you're retired, you get busy.
That's what I hear.
And I retired from teaching vocal music at Columbus High 7 years ago.
And how long did you do that?
26 years here in Columbus.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So it's now that when you're retired, you start. The great thing about it is you do the things that you want to do when you want to do them.
Is that how that works?
Which is what makes retirement so wonderful. And but of course, then you also, because we were so busy for so long, it's hard not to just continue to do things to fill the time, and you end up getting involved in different ways. So,
yeah, well, I think that's I'm sure you get involved in a lot of good things that probably benefit others, not just yourself. So I'm sure that's for other people, that's a good accident you've fallen into, maybe.
There's a lot of people I know that are retired now that do the same thing I do. They feed back into the community that supported them for so long.
Yeah.
And some of my best friends are people that are doing that as well.
Awesome.
Doing community type events. So
well, we're absolutely grateful for it, because for those of us that are not retired yet, that have to go to work,
a couple years to go.
A couple. Even though I keep trying to, but my husband won't let me.
Won't let you.
He won't let me. I keep asking almost daily, but he won't let me just yet. So, but no, all of us that are running around working and busy with kids and things like that, and don't have all that extra time. I know we're very grateful for people like you that have,
Well. Yeah, we have, like I said, we have 3 of our 5 children live right here in Columbus, and several grandchildren. I know they're grateful that we're able to, my wife and I, Becky and I, were able to help support them and help babysit occasionally or take kids here or there. And again, doing what we want to do when we want to do it, though. So
absolutely, I know I've never lived in the same town with my parents, so it's always been difficult to.
Oh, I can't. Yeah.
So I always tell my brother, who does live with me in the same area as my parents, that you're just dropping them off at mom's, must be nice, type of thing. So I'm sure your kids are very grateful, and especially because your grandkids get to grow up with you.
Oh yeah.
So
it's wonderful.
It's a nice little life you've built here in Columbus. Sounds like.
Yeah. It's a wonderful place to live, a wonderful place to grow up with our children. Basically, all grew up here in Columbus, and it's just a perfect size community for what we like. So.
And what is it that you like? Because you said you're involved with music. You were involved. Something tells me you're still kind of dabbling in music.
I guess you could say that. Well, since retirement from vocal music at Columbus High School, my wife encouraged me to continue to do more of that. I did a lot with vocal jazz in the high school, a lot with sound systems and things like that. So my retirement money went into a sound system, and then my 3 children who live right here in the Columbus area and I have a vocal performing group called Voice House.
Yes.
Right. And so for the last 7 years now, we've been performing for different things around the area, around the state, educational things, and
And what kind of so you stay around mostly the area in state Nebraska
Yeah.
so far?
Yeah, it's all been in-state so far. Yeah.
Okay.
But we performed several community concerts in different cities around the state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What kind of music do you perform?
It's mostly pop a cappella.
Okay.
It's we sing to drum tracks, but it's all a cappella.
Is it?
And so it's kind of like a Pentatonics feel, if you know who they are.
Yes, I saw a little video of you, but you were playing the piano. You're playing a little piano man.
Oh no, that was actually Mike Morris.
Was it? Okay, it was from far, and I was trying to get a little background on who you were.
I'm in another group in the community with Mike Moser, who's who's a senator, Mike Moser from Columbus.
Okay.
We've been playing together since I moved to town, for the last 30 years or so in a group called Cruisin'.
Yes.
Which is a little dance band. And that was this past, I lose track of time, last Thursday in the park. We played lawn chairs with that group. And that was a friend of mine, Mike Morris, who came and played with us. But
I see.
Piano man, yeah. He's
and do you guys play some Beach Boys?
Yeah, we play Beach Boys and a little bit of country, a little bit of old rock and roll, and yeah, we enjoy that. But,
that music. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with. I think anybody and everybody can enjoy that kind of.
Between that and the family.
You're staying busy.
Yeah.
You're keeping those vocal cords pretty warmed up.
I try to. It's not as easy as it used to be.
That's what I hear.
All my kids are like the rest of the group's like half my age, so trying to keep up is always a challenge. But.
Awesome. So what instruments do you play with your cruising band?
I'm the bass player in the band.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Awesome. And did you just pick that up naturally? Did you ever take lessons?
No. Well,
because to me you seem pretty musically inclined.
Well, music educators pretty much have to learn all the instruments, at least well enough to teach it. Of course.
Yes.
Guitar was probably my first instrument, and piano, and then bass kind of just. They needed a bass player, so
you kind of picked it up.
I picked it up. So
yeah, I always wondered about like you said, like music instructors, especially for high school and band, because you don't notice it when you're in school and you're one of those band students. So I grew up playing in band. I came from a really small town, and everybody kind of did everything.
Sure.
So I played the trombone from the time I was in the 5th grade to I graduated high school.
Exactly.
But looking back, my band teacher, Mr. Island. Mr. Sam Island. Hopefully he's listening out there. A little shout out to Mr. Island.
Where was this at?
This was in Rolla, Kansas.
Rolla, Kansas.
Almost at the edge of the earth.
Okay.
So most people, if you were to go by it, you're heading out to either Colorado, but usually New Mexico to go skiing. Yes. So a tiny little town, but, and I never noticed it back then, but, Mr. Island, our little band director, could play pretty much all the instruments and show us and teach us and things like that. So very grateful for that.
Yeah. And that small school experience.
Yes.
Where you do everything. I mean, we were all in sports. We were all in music. We were all in theater. You had to be
because there wasn't enough people.
Right, there wasn't enough people.
That's why we said,
it's still kind of that way in Columbus, but more and more kids are kind of get into pockets where they just do this or do that. But you can do just about anything here in Columbus well and participate at a high level. So especially with the great instructors that we have, not only in Columbus but at Lakeview and SCOTUS. I mean, the educational system here in town is really good. We did.
So I'm not from Columbus either. Obviously, I'm from Kansas, and then we moved here about 3.5 years ago. And that was one thing that we noticed was coming from a bigger city. My husband and I met in Wichita and lived there for the last 15 years, raised our boys there. And coming from a larger city, there's usually like smaller private schools, Catholic schools, usually will be better than your typical public school. That's kind of what we got used to. But when we came here, I mean, it was almost, they were all equally great.
Right.
You didn't have to go to, a private Catholic school for you to get a better education.
Right.
I think that was something that we were surprised to learn that, whatever school you pick, you're going to have really good options with either one.
Yeah, I think that's true. That's very true.
Yeah. So you you were at Columbus High for 27 years, and you just did the vocal, or did you do band as well?
Just the vocal.
Vocal.
Yeah.
Okay. And so in Kansas, I wasn't in vocal. You know, maybe I should have been or something, but I couldn't carry it. What's this saying? I can't carry a tune in a bucket if I have.
Don't get me going, girl. I could get you singing notes right now.
I don't think so.
I know I could.
No,
I know I could.
It'd be so bad. It would be so bad.
Yeah.
But you know, the kids that stuck with it, I think they really enjoyed it, went on to college to do it. And I think it just provided like an alternate avenue for them for expression, for arts that you don't really find in smaller towns.
Yeah, I think that's true. And especially in choral music, which is what I was involved in with multiple part singing, which you see a lot in school settings, in high schools, and then in college. And then when they get out into the world, occasionally you'll find a good community choir, a good church choir, some places where you can sing, but it's not nearly as much as it could be, and it's a little more of a unique situation, which is why we like voice houses, because the four of us, and now the five of us, my son married a young lady. They just had their first anniversary, and they're having their first baby here shortly.
Oh, congrats.
She was.
Look at that guy. Look at that guy.
Matt, you were on it. But he married a young lady, Kirsten, and she's now in the group as well. So it's a 5-part group, and she's got a gorgeous voice, plays piano wonderfully, and so we're really excited about the fact that we're actually 5 of us now instead of just the 4 of us. But you can do that choral music, which there's not a whole lot of outlets for that. I do have a community choir called Vertical Voices that is it's not connected to a church, but it is definitely, the idea of the group is to connect and in choral music where we're all singing and have that outlet. But it's pretty much just praise and worship music in a choral setting. And
when you keep saying choral, for those of us that may not know,
choral music is multiple part vocal music singing, soprano, alto, tenor, bass, and so you can do. There's all sorts of choral music. For instance, Jacob is really big into barbershop. But that's considered choral music.
Okay,
choral is kind of the overall encompassing of a choir. We're a music ensemble of voices.
I see.
And it can be accompanied by unaccompanied all the way to
accompanied. So it doesn't have to be a cappella.
Right.
Okay. Right. What's one of the songs that you guys perform?
Vertical Voices or Voice House? I get them mixed up.
Yeah. You have so many.
Well, like I said, we do a couple of pentatonics tunes. We do Take on Me.
Oh, do you?
We do.
That would be fun to listen to.
Yeah, we do some songs by Deke Sharon, Uptown Funk. So it's a lot. There's some pop songs. It's called pop a cappella. So a lot of it is more pop stuff. Shut Up and Dance with Me, is one of our tunes. We also do some nice ballad stuff that's Disney. Remember Me,
yes,
is one of our tunes. And then we do some Sweet Georgia Brown. That's kind of a vocal jazz thing where we do a lot of improvisation in it. We do one piece that's actually arranged by my niece called How Can I Keep From Singing, which is just a multiple part thing.
And your niece arranged that?
Our niece arranged it.
Oh,
it's
nice.
It's based on an old hymn.
Okay.
And then we do a kind of a small religious set that we do as well, but it's mostly pop a cappella.
And you do these like at Frankfurt Square here in town, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah. The one we have one this Thursday night.
Right. I was about to say, I think you have something coming up, don't you?
Lawn chairs on the square, and then we've done Columbus Days, and we don't sing a lot because the kids are so busy.
I know.
And they've all got their families. They're in that time,
I know.
They're going through that time right now where they've got a lot of young kids, and but when we practice, it's like a family get together, so it's okay.
That is nice.
So we're able to. It's not a burden to practice or to sing together. So it's very nice.
Good. So what else is it? I mean, not that you don't do enough.
Yeah.
Lessons? Do a lot of people? I could see a lot of people coming to you for lessons.
I don't do so much of that anymore. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of left music education behind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm
More it's kind of enjoying it, I guess.
performing.
Mm-hmm. I guess enjoying it with the performance, not
Right,
that you didn't
yeah.
enjoy educating
Performing,
it.
but music education I kind of left behind. My daughters and Jacob, of course, and Kirsten, they were all still in music education. They have private lessons, and then they
Oh.
also teach and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So that part of Voice House, which they are, is more into music education. And my spare time, you know, I do other things too, but
Mm-hmm.
it's mostly enjoying this while we DJ.
Oh, you DJ too.
I didn't mention that yet, I guess. But yeah, on the weekends we do weddings and stuff. So
Oh, so you are, like I said, I would say you're really feeling Columbus, you know, with your expertise in education, but also with the beautiful sound of music.
right,
And that's not a lot of what you expect from a smaller town like Columbus.
Right.
And I think people would be pleasantly surprised.
this group I was telling you about, Vertical Voices, is something I'm really pleased about. That's actually been going on for decades, where we've had a community choir of different people from different churches that would
Mhm.
come together for a Christmas concert.
Oh, okay.
And we got organized here in the last several years, right before COVID hit. We had a group that was around 70 members that we
Oh,
would sing.
wow.
We had a whole orchestra that played with us, and we had for our Christmas concert.
And those are all Columbus people?
Pretty much,
Or around the
yeah.
area?
Columbus
Even the
people.
orchestra?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And we had, I think we figured out that we were in about 27 different churches involved
That's great.
in that group, and then COVID kind of shut everything
Yeah,
down, of course, and we still do the National Day of Prayer in the spring, first Thursday in May always. And another great friend of mine, Tom Zimmerman, who's another retired guy,
Mm-hmm.
he and I organized that the last couple of years, and we were able to do something even during COVID. We had a thing in front of the First Nebraska Bank where we sang outside, and we get a little worship band together, and it was really good. But then this year we were able to go back to Frankfurt Square, and we sing on the stage. We had a group of about 35 singers in a band, and
Awesome.
yeah.
So you're performing this Thursday. Well, by the time this airs, it will probably be next week. So
Right.
but you will be performing this Thursday.
Yeah.
And that's with
Just Voice House.
your Voice House.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember all the different.
Yeah.
You're involved in too many things here. I need a list.
I know.
I need some notes here. I need my sound guy to provide me with some notes here or something. And then are any of your other groups performing? Because they do Frankfurt Square every Thursday, right? During the summer?
Cruisin' was last Thursday.
Okay.
And then, but we have two more Cruisin' performances on Saturday night. This is one of the unique things about Columbus, is how the arts has really been stepping up.
That's awesome.
We have two more performances with Cruisin' on the stage. I think those are both Saturday night performances. The Thursday night is the Downtown Business Association every Thursday night, and then every Saturday night is the city of Columbus puts on concerts.
Oh, and is that downtown too?
Yes, that's
Okay.
in Frankfurt Square. I guess last week that was the city of Columbus. Except we sang on Friday night, not Saturday night. But anyhow, so last week there was concerts Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the square.
And see, I think
downtown.
that's just amazing for
Right.
a little town like Columbus.
And if you can add one more thing to the list,
Mm-hmm.
Matt, did you make a list? You didn't make a list.
He's writing it down right now.
Friends of Music. Have you heard of Friends of Music?
I have not.
Okay, so that is a very integral part of this community and has been for decades. That is our community concert association.
Okay.
And so we bring in top acts from all over the country.
Oh, okay.
Next year's, I'm on the Friends of Music board
Mm-hmm.
and helping bringing in these concerts to the auditorium at the high school or the middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And the Friends of Music board supplies these phenomenal programs that you'll see in Lincoln, you'll see in Omaha, you'll see in larger cities, and they're right here.
That's amazing.
And to be a Friends of Music member, we have 6 concerts next year, and the ticket is only $60. So $10 a ticket, you can see these groups that are just amazing. So
That's great. Is there any way, any information maybe we can get out for Columbus, for the community to support?
there will be we'll have a kickoff campaign in August, latter part of August. But if you want to go to Columbus Music, you can get that information
Downtown.
from downtown. Yeah. There's actually a big poster that shows all the concerts for next year. We've got a group that's some of them are not the actual group, because we have like a Chicago band.
Oh,
not Chicago, but we have a Chicago band.
You brought Peter Cetera?
Right, I wish. We have another. We have a guy that sounds like James Taylor. And we also have several original groups and just really, really phenomenal.
That would be amazing. I'd say Chicago, minus Peter Cetera, was the first concert my husband and I went to together.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I've never seen
that. They were great to watch, and was lucky enough to see James Taylor as well.
Yeah,
in concert.
I got to see him at the Pinnacle Bank.
Yes.
Years ago. Yeah.
So that's I think that's amazing. I usually like to end my show with asking my guests what maybe a hidden gem in Columbus or the surrounding area that you have found that maybe people don't know about, but I think you've already given us so many. I don't think people knew a lot about all this music and art and performances available here.
I'm telling you, it really is. We have a very supportive community for the arts, and people that have been doing it for a long time. That I wish I could mention all of their names that have been the backbone of all these different things that we've been talking about. But yes, to be able to have these opportunities right here in town where you can either perform or see music,
listen,
or participate, in Columbus and in so many different ways. So
yeah.
And we got to get you singing, girl.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you singing.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know about all that, but no, my boys play the drums and the guitar and things like that.
Sure.
So I might be, since you've retired from the education part, I might be hitting up sounds like your kids to further pursue that. Because we were going all the way to Omaha every other week. And then as the busier we got, we kept having to reschedule. And finally I just said, we're just going to have to try to find something local here. There's got to be something here local.
There's several different people that give those lessons. Again, Columbus Music is a good resource for all those things.
Yeah, that's good. So if anybody needs like a list or a go-to or a website for kind of a lot of the things that we touched on today, is there somewhere specific that everybody can go?
Our website is voicehouse.net.
Okay, voicehouse.net.
Voicehouse.net is one word, voicehouse.net. And then also we have a Voice House DJ and Sound Facebook page. So.
Okay. All right. Well, Fred, thank you so much. Like I said, you've given us a lot of hidden gems that is available here in the Columbus area. And I just think it thrills people, especially after the 2 years that everyone has kind of gone through, and get some more liveliness and entertainment and just some joyful sounds around the area.
Ready to get out, have some good times,
absolutely.
make some good music.
Well, thank you so much, like I said, for all your contributions, for sticking with Columbus. And being here so long, and it sounds like I said, you're just making it a better place.
It's been a blessing. It really has.
Well, thank you so much again for being on the show. I appreciate it.